All right, I'm going to show you how to do this part of your presentation template, the color relationships. What you're doing here is exploring the assigned Pantone color that you've been given and seeing what kind of color relationships come off of that. But this is not to dictate your palette, which is actually on the next page. So you're not going to be doing dictating a palette. You're really just exploring to see kind of how it works. So the first thing you want to do is put your assigned color into these black rectangles right here. So I'm just going to click here and marquee these rectangles alone. So I've selected all of them. And then when you earlier pasted in your creative brief, you inadvertently, didn't realize it, brought in your Pantone swatch into your swatches palette. So I've got the swatches palette open in InDesign, and there's my Pantone color. Yours will be different. Everyone has a different assigned Pantone color. So just by clicking on that with these selected, it converts them all to the Pantone color that I need to use. Okay, now I've got to figure out all these color relationships, and the best way to do that is to use Adobe Illustrator. So I'm going to go ahead and marquee out all these elements on this page, Command C to copy, and then I'm going to do Command Tab and jump over to Illustrator, which I have open. I'm going to create a new document, and I'm just going to make it basically a letter size page horizontal. So if I click on that and I make sure it's horizontal over here, and I say create, I've got a nice blank horizontal page. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way. So, Command V to paste, and now I've pasted in the elements from InDesign into Illustrator. And this is really for the purpose of determining these color relationships. That's all it's for. So, uh, because Adobe Photoshop or Adobe InDesign and Adobe Illustrator work together, these come in as vector objects. So the first one is the complementary relationship. So the easiest way to do this is to use the color guide. The color guide is, let's see, window color guide, command shift F3 on the keyboard. If I bring this out, you can see how it works. Okay, so I've got this color, my assigned color, as the base color. And then if you look in this drop down menu right here, there's a little arrow drop down. There are all the color relationships I need to use, starting with complementary. So I'm going to click on complementary, and now I see my base color and its complement. So I'm going to click on the complement spot here and click once, and I've now built my complementary relationship. It's as easy as that. Now I want to go back to my base color. If you notice, it changes the base color to whatever I just clicked on. So I'm going to click back on my Pantone and then go to the drop down, and this time I'm doing split complementary. It's right here, split complementary, and it gives me these three colors, these two additional colors. So I'm going to click here, get this one, click here and get this one. Next is double complementary. Now if you look in the menu, there's no double complementary. That's because Illustrator doesn't assume to know what the second set of complements is going to be for you. But we definitely need the complement, so we start with that and place that there. And then for this second part of the complementary, I pick any color I want. So I can decide I want something somewhat analogous to my base color. I'll pick something sort of greenish like that. So if I'm starting with that, there's the complement to that color is a pink. So I'm going to pick that. And now I've got two sets of complements. Analogous, back to the formula here. So select analogous, select my Pantone color, go to the drop down, pick analogous. And actually what you want is analogous to, because that has 5 colors. So if I'm not on it there, click once. Now I've got this analogous palette. So click here to get this one, click here to get the yellow, and there, and I've got enough colors plus 1. Triadic. So back to my base color, click on the drop down, go to triad. Actually, I'm going to go, triadic right here. And fill in the colors. It's very easy, just a lot of clicking. No reading, no writing. All right, monochromatic. Back to the base color, pull down the drop down, look for monochromatic. There it is. Actually, this is the one I want, monochromatic 2, which has more colors. So I'm going to click here, get this one, click here and get this one, and this one, and this one. We're ripping through this. All right, tetrad. So back to my base color, click on the drop down, go to tetrad, which is 4 colors. Click here and get, wait, I want to make sure we're on our base color. There we go. All right, so from here, we're just filling in the blanks. All right, pentagram. Back to the base color, pull down the drop down, go to pentagram. There it is. All right, pentagram creates a nice high contrast relationship. A lot of people like it. Let's make sure we're on the right pentagram. There it is. All right. You always have to make sure your base color is correct. To start, it will change as you click on other colors. Now, the confusing ones, right complementary and left complementary. All right, I'm going to click the drop down, go to right complementary, which is up here at the top, right complementary, and that gives me that relationship. So I'm going to fill in the blanks here. And then left complementary, back to the base, drop it down. It's just above left, right, left. Here we go. And this one, I'm just filling in the blanks, clicking through the colors. All right, I've got it all built now. It just took me a few minutes using this color guide. Now, if you're curious about right and left complementary, what that means, so I'm going to select all these colors, marquee them out, and I'm going to go up to the color guide just to show you how this works, okay? So if I go to the edit menu, it shows me a color wheel, essentially, and it shows me in these circles the colors I've selected. So you can see that this is the right, it goes across the street, but instead of complement, it goes slightly to the right. So across to the right. That's right complementary. If I do this, oops, if I do the same thing with the left complementary, and we look at it, it goes across and to the left. That's why it's called left complementary. So right and left complementary. Now I've got everything done. The next final step is to marquee out everything, select all on the page, Command C to copy, Command Tab to go back to InDesign. I still have all this selected from before. I'm going to hit delete. I don't want any of it there. And I'm going to do Command V to paste and position it just right. And I've completed my color relationships. That's all there is to it. Hope you have fun doing this and explore these tools. They're very helpful.